Live across North Texas and beyond, this is the Jenna Ryan Show.
Ain't that America? You and me. Ain't that America? Little pink houses for you.
Jenna Ryan is a world-renowned speaker and thought leader, ranked in the 87th most influential person online by Fast Company magazine. Jenna Ryan has spoken to thousands around the world and is now speaking to you. So with all things real estate and beyond, here is Jenna Ryan.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello. How are you today? Thank you so much for joining us today here on the Jenna Ryan Show. If this is your first time listening, welcome. We talk about real estate and all things Dallas-Fort Worth and new homes, and we talk about everything here. Usually I have a guest with me. Today I have two fabulous guests. I am a real estate broker with the Jenna Ryan Realty, and I work with people all throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area in buying and selling real estate. So if you want to call me, email me, get in touch with me to sell real estate, just email me at jennaryanrealty@gmail.com, and I will be at your service. Or just put your home on the market, and I'll find you. Okay, so here we are today. I'm so excited to announce that we have Mike Smith with us today.
Jones.
Oops, I just messed up. Mike Jones with us today. We have been planning this since December, and he is here today. And then also I have my beautiful mother with us today. Hi, Mom. Hi. And Mom is a real estate agent with Keller Williams. She's been doing this for 20 years. Needless to say, I've been in the industry just right alongside of her. We could talk about real estate for hours and hours, and we learn something from each other as we go, don't we?
That's right.
Yes, we do. And so here we are today, and I'm really interested in getting to know more about Mike Jones because he is an auctioneer. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Why don't you?
Okay. Well, I've been an auctioneer for 40 years, which is kind of amazing in itself that I'm that young. Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, no, I'm with United Real Estate.
Okay.
We do auctions. We do traditional real estate. So we do a little bit of everything. We sell traditional real estate. We do homes, much like what you do.
Okay.
But then my specialty really is the auction side. So I specialize in selling auctions. I'm the president of United Strategic Client Services here in Dallas, which is an international group. And we sell everything from Costa Rica properties to Panama. And then here in the United States, of course, we do wineries and high-end homes and trophy properties and things of that nature. And so I got started when I was very young in high school working for an auctioneer.
Okay.
And I'm past president of the National Auctioneer Association.
Okay.
And the Texas Auctioneer Association. And so I worked my way through the association line, and I run an auctioneer training school here in Dallas area. And so I'm knee-deep in auction.
Okay. How do you get paid as an auctioneer, just out of curiosity? Do you get paid a commission like I would, or what?
It's different. We have a variety of ways to get paid. If we're selling real estate, typically we're going to get a commission. So I'm a broker.
We?
Well, it depends who all's involved. You know, if it's just my deal, naturally I'm going to be doing the auction side of it. But we do cooperative deals with other brokers and agents. We actively pursue people to bring us buyers to our auctions.
Okay.
And so if you're a licensed real estate professional, if you're a broker or agent, of course, you qualify for an agent's commission.
Okay, wonderful. So you would get like the 3% on the buyer side, or y'all negotiate
whatever.
that.
Yeah, whatever.
Because we're talking $2 million, $3 million, $5 million properties.
Yep.
Okay, so why would someone want to auction their property as opposed to put it on the MLS or have a pocket listing with,
Well, one of the things that we live in a different society today. When I got in the real estate business, I got my license in '83.
Okay.
So the whole world's changed. Everything's technology now. People want things done now. They don't want to. A lot of people do not want to wait, and it's a sense of urgency. Sometimes people are moving right now. They don't have time to sit with a listing, or they're not patient enough to. So we can. And I call it being in the Walmart mentality. Everything happens. They're open 24 hours. When I got in the real estate auction business, you couldn't even sell hardware in Texas on Sunday because we had the blue laws.
I remember.
Things have changed, and so people want it now. They want to do it now, and there's something exciting about an auction. The other thing is, if you have a unique property that's hard to put a real definite price on,
right?
It's really better to market it in a unique way. And when you do an auction, the marketing happens all at one time. It's like, we load it up. And so there's a major investment in marketing up front. And that exposes it to the market. So if you, we kind of use this analogy. If you went into a room and you had 10,000 white ping pong balls on the floor, right? And these are all properties. 10,000 properties, 10,000 ping pong balls. And we're going to paint one red. Which one are you going to look at?
Right. And I call it, I make my properties, whenever I sell homes, I list a property, I make my house the hero of the marketplace. So I make it sparkle and shine, price it appropriately to make it really pop and stand out from the competition.
Sure.
And that's what you're talking about. Okay, so you have these homes, and they're these beautiful homes, and you auction them. My question is, what if you don't get, is there a reserve? I mean,
there's two ways to sell at auction. You can sell absolute, which means once you put it up, if there's a bid, then it's going to sell absolute to the highest bidder. That's an absolute auction. Right. I would say the vast majority of real estate auctions, especially in the realm that I'm in, the price ranges that I'm in, we do have a reserve, or at least the owner wants the right to accept or reject.
Surely.
And so in that case, like we have one coming up right now here in Dallas, less than 10 minutes from here, in Preston Hollow. It's the Vaughn sale. And
the Vaughn sale.
The Vaughn property. Yep.
Okay.
And that's coming up February the 20th for auction.
Okay.
Here's a property that's it's been vacant for a while. It's in Old Preston Hollow, so this is a very unique property. I mean, the neighborhood is where people like Mark Cuban live. We've got the Bushes live close by.
Right.
This property it's hard to put a price on it. It's been on the market. We offered it traditionally.
It's already been on the market.
We offered it traditionally.
Okay.
And no one has stepped up to buy it at the price range that they want to give. So we've gone back to the sellers and said, okay, we're going to take it to auction. They wanted to do that as well.
Okay.
And so that's what we're going to do.
And how do you compare with like Allie Beth Allman or Briggs Freeman up there in Highland Park? Are you right neck and neck with them, or are y'all a step above? I mean...
Well, I think everybody has something unique that they bring to the table. Of course, those are names that everybody knows. They've been around a long time.
In that area.
Yeah, and it's like Ebby and all the other companies. Okay?
Right.
And I get that. We're United Real Estate is in my office as well. So we have the United Real Estate president next door to me in our building at Lincoln Center.
Okay.
And I guess the best way to put it is we have a unique offering that really no other company has here in Dallas, and that is the auction side of, if you think about it, auction side of the property. Not everyone offers auction. If I called any of those offices right now, they would not. They would look at you like you had three eyes, because it's like, auction. Why would we do auction? And so we offer a solution that no one else has.
Wow.
And that's what I like about it. And that's why I joined United 10 years ago.
Okay,
I started the auction division.
That's really cool. I like innovation. I'm a real innovative thinker, and I like thinking of new ways. And really, in the real estate industry, if you do something, a lot of people copy you, but you really have barriers to entry. You've got to be able to talk like an auctioneer in order to.
Well, I've never had a problem talking.
No, me either. So so you've got you have the auction, and. Now, do you do foreclosure auctions ever? Or?
Well, I won't say we don't do any. I mean, we just completed a project in Louisiana. We sold a marina that had a casino piece to it. It had a convenience store. It was a large complex, and it actually was a bankruptcy. So we do some bankruptcy work, and that process took about 6 months because it was very litigious. There was a lot of stuff going on, and so anytime you deal with a bankruptcy, I've got a big SBA sale going on right now in Oregon. So we do some of those types of sales if it justifies our effort. But I kind of have a price range barrier. So
what's your price range barrier?
Well, I would say it's going to have to be over $1 million for us to get involved. Now that doesn't mean we can't handle it. I will give it to someone else. But if it's over $1 million, say $2 or $3 million, then I'll directly be involved, or I'll have our vice president get involved in it, or we'll work as a team. It really depends. We have a vetting process, so we decide what qualifies as a good auction prospect. But here again, we get a lot of projects where we're going to either take it traditional. We sell stuff traditionally too, so that's what's going to happen. We'll analyze it, take a look at it, check the market, and do our comps.
Okay, so like if I'm coming in to purchase a home, and do I have to? Is it like the foreclosure auction where I have to have the cashier's check in my lap?
Well, you definitely
at the auction.
When you come to one of our auctions, you're going to have already arranged your financing. You're going to have to come with some form of deposit depending on what this particular sale says. Usually, we're going to require 10% down, most likely 10% down the day of the sale. So if it's $1 million property, you're going to need to have $100,000 available. Now, we may say you need to bring a check for $25,000 to participate, but you're going to have the balance of it available. Either write a check for the balance of the $75,000. So it just depends. But our terms are very specific.
They've already had the opportunity to peruse the property, to inspect the property.
Correct.
With these $5 million homes, are they hiring your average Joe inspector?
We're welcoming our buyers to have the property inspected. Because
do y'all do that for them?
We do not do that for them. But what we do is when we take this thing to auction, they're buying it at their price.
Okay.
As is, where is, no warranties, no guarantees. So they're buying it in the condition it's in. We make no guarantees of any kind.
Okay.
We're presenting you the product. You're responsible for the inspection, and we highly recommend that they do that. In fact, it'd be wrong not to. So makes sense.
How big is the market for these types of home? I guess I want to say 2.5 million and up in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
There's a lot of them. We have a lot of. In fact, if you get right down to it, it's the hardest market. Because there's so fewer buyers. It's not like you're selling a $300,000, $400,000 house.
It's the hardest market.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
anything over $2 or $3 million
demand.
is going to be tough. I say tough from the standpoint of you just have fewer people with that kind of money sitting around. So and I'll tell you, I've always thought it makes sense for lower dollar homes, the $200,000 or $300,000 homes.
I don't think people doing that. They kind of are. We kind of are.
Think about it. If people are giving more for a house, you put it on the market for $300,000 and it ends up selling it for $360,000 because of the competition. That's an auction, guys.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that because that's basically what we're doing with the bidding war situation in Dallas-Fort Worth with homes under 300. It's basically an auction. But when we come back from this break, I want to hear you talk like an auctioneer.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
We'll be right back, everyone.
Let's talk about Robin. Last February, he was managing a place that didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. Now Robin is 7 months into his information technology career. Hate what you do? Don't be chicken. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT professional in just as little as 4 months. Attend classes on campus or live online, just 2 nights a week to get what you'll need to start your new career. Daytime classes are also available. More than just a school, My Computer Career helps you get into the industry by working with hundreds of employers that hire our students. My Computer Career is nationally accredited, and financial aid is available for those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Classes start soon, so go take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. It's not rocket science, it's My Computer Career. mycomputercareer.edu.
Looking for ways to save with your Medicare plan? Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many of the nation's plans, which could mean lower copays for you. So bring your prescriptions to a Walgreens pharmacy today to start saving. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Walgreens participates as a preferred network pharmacy with Cigna HealthSpring and Humana. Walgreens participates with other plans. See walgreens.com/Medicare for details.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Hello, everyone. Cha-ching. Listen to that. We're over here. This is like a mastermind group going on today. If you're in the real estate industry and you're not listening to the Jenna Ryan Show, you're missing out because we're talking about some really cool stuff today. And always, if you're a new realtor, you can listen to my show and learn a lot about selling real estate because that's what I bring up. And if you are a real estate agent that sells lots in Highland Park or beautiful $1 million homes in Highland Park, you need to be listening to this show because I'm bringing it to you guys today. I'm here with my special guest, Mike Jones with United Real Estate. He is an auctioneer for multi-million-dollar homes throughout the United States. And my precious mother, Cheryl Brewer.
Yes.
Cheryl Brewer is a real estate agent with Keller Williams. Over which area? You're in Arlington.
Arlington.
She works in Arlington. 817. She's been doing it for years. I remember the first year she started, she was Rookie of the Year. And I was like, wow, my mom's Rookie of the Year at Abby Holiday years ago and 20 years ago. And so we've been in the industry. And we were just talking on break about auctioning. And let's just get into this. Okay. Why did you start doing auctions?
Well, I started doing auctions because I enjoyed it. You got to remember, I worked for an auctioneer in high school, and then through college, and then after college, I got my license and just went right into it. Of course, when you first start out in the auction business, you start on the low scale. You're doing estate auctions, you're doing antique auctions. I was selling businesses. So for 20 years, there's a company called Advance Automotive. They bought out Western Auto many years ago. And for 20, I averaged selling a Western Auto store a week for 20 years. And so I've sold retail stores. We liquidated.
You must be really rich.
No, we're not really rich. I know how to spend it too. Montgomery Ward, you would remember Montgomery Ward stores. We sold all those here in the Southwest. So we did
like fun.
We did a lot of businesses, and then we got into the industrial. But the entire time we were also doing real estate, and we were breaking into the real estate. And about 10 years ago or 11 years ago, a guy from South Lake had just purchased United Country Real Estate.
Okay.
And United Country, he wanted to change the way things were sold. He wanted to add a special benefit to all of our offices, and that was auction.
I love it.
He had been he'd watched the Australian market, New Zealand, South Africa, and in Europe, and they were already doing auctions. We weren't doing them here. And so he said, he came to me and he said, hey, would you like to start the auction division? And so a couple of us came on board to United Country.
Okay.
And I had ran my own company for 27 years before I joined United Country.
You're a broker, right?
I am.
Okay.
And so I joined, and then over the course of the last 10 years, we're now the largest integrated real estate professional and auction company really in the world.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what we do. And so we have about 550 to 600 offices. 5-6 years ago, we started United Real Estate. And so if you see United, anything that's United and it's real estate related, that's us. It could be the country brand, United Country Real Estate, or United Real Estate.
Okay.
And then I'm the auction wing. And then United SCS is what we call it, Strategic Client Services. We started that about 4 years ago, and I'm the broker of record for that. And that specifically was like special ops. So we go after major projects. So if it's Kenny Rogers' property in Athens, Georgia,
how do you figure out who the person
you get
to
your
call?
clients?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it's we have a really strong network. We have 6,000 agents and brokers, and so we're training them to pay attention to opportunities. And so basically, we're having our convention in Nashville in about a month.
Okay.
We'll be in Miami in 2 weeks. That's where our United Real Estate Convention is going to be. And we will have training sessions, and we'll be teaching them how to recognize auction opportunities, and they'll call us in our office here in Dallas, and then we'll, like right now, I've got a ranch property in the Poconos in Pennsylvania that I'm looking at for a doctor on Long Island, and that's a referral from one of our offices in Colorado. So it's really about networking and having that base of people who are actually thinking about auction. I would say the vast majority of people that are in the real estate business, they pass an auction opportunity every single day. They drive by an auction opportunity. And like you said, you call, I don't know how many phone calls you make a week trying to drum up business. And
Not trying.
Yeah.
I get it done.
Well, but see, you're unique because lots of people have real estate licenses, but you take a look at how many people actually list a piece of real estate or sell a piece of real estate, and the number is crazy. There's a lot of licenses, but there's not a lot of players.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of competition, but I was a recruiter for so many years that phone calls are real easy for me, and I'm really good on the phone. I can practically sell the house on the phone.
Sure.
So so here we go.
Yep.
Just as far as technically, how do you auction something? Tell me the secret, or not the secret. Tell me the formula.
Well,
do some auctioneering. Sell me this house.
Well, let me give you your information first, because that's important. It matters. So let's say you've got a property, and like we've got a property right now north of here, up in Salina.
Okay.
They need to sell it. They've got health issues. Time is a factor, and they want to do their estate planning now. They don't want to leave this property with their kids having to figure out what to do. That's another. You've got to have people that need to sell, number one.
Okay.
You have to have an urgency to sell.
Okay.
It is preferable that they have equity in the property. Because if you don't have equity, there's a good chance they're going to be upside down. I mean, you can't call me and say, I want $1 million for my property, and you find out that their debt on it is $1 million. I mean, a lot of times they'll do it. I mean, I've had clients sell a $1 million property for $900,000 because they had so much other stuff they wanted to get out from under the weight of it. But for the most part, you want a property where you've got a motivated seller, you've got equity in the property, and there is something about time. There's a reason for it, and they need to be a bit negotiable too. They've got to be flexible. If you're just totally rigid, what we want to do, we want to go in and take a property that we feel very confident we can sell at auction. If we can't sell it at auction, we don't want to take it. Okay, because we'll just make it a traditional listing. I mean, we can do that too.
Right.
So. Just like the Vaughn property here in Old Preston Hollow. That's a property that could sit there for a long time if you're just going to set a price on it. But now we've got our sellers are motivated. One lives in Florida. One lives here. There's a mom in a assisted living center. The kids say, we need to get out from under this. It's just sitting here. It's there's maintenance, upkeep. You got taxes and all that. Well, yeah. I mean, you got a $5 million property sitting, and naturally you've got high holding costs.
Well, how do we do that? I want to know.
I know you're dying.
Do it now. I want to hear it.
You want to? Okay. All right.
Try it.
All
okay.
Right.
Sell me a home.
All right. Here we go.
Thank you.
This one right here. Let's sell lot number 1. And here we go. What do you say? How about $1 million bid? $1 million now. $1 million now. $1 million now. $1 million $2 million now. $3 million now. $1 million. Yes, ma'am. Now $1 million. She's in at $1 million. Now $1 million. Will you give me $1 million? $1 million. Will you do it? Now $1 million. $5 million. Now 6. 7 6. Now $1 million. 6. Now 6. Now $1 million. 6. Now $1 million. 6. Sold. $1.5 million right here. $1.5 million. Sign her up.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, what if they did this and then changed their mind?
Well, once they've bid it and they've signed the paperwork, they're in. And so they've already given us a deposit check, and it's not refundable. They're going to lose that.
Okay.
And that is very rare. Very, very rare.
Especially, who's going to lose $100,000?
That's right. Now, I sold a piece of property years ago for a bank, and this was foreclosed property. It was a bank from Louisville. They had some property down in South Dallas.
Right.
Well, we sold it, and the people put their money down, and they failed to close. And then we sold it again, and they failed to close.
Oh, my goodness.
On that one property, I had that happen, and I finally sold it on the third time.
Cursed.
But it was a strange property. Evidently there may have been some environmental or something, so maybe they just decided they didn't want to take it on.
Right.
But I would say 99% of the time they're gonna take it to close.
It's all just smooth.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's really interesting. Okay.
Now here's the other thing, Jen.
Okay.
If the property goes to auction and it does not meet reserve, then we will put it right back into our traditional listing. So we have a traditional listing on all of our properties. We have a regular seller's contract, okay? Wow. So we have a listing agreement no matter what. And then if we take it to auction, that's a separate agreement. And then it goes, if it doesn't sell at the auction, it'll go right back into our
You know what?
inventory.
I'm having an idea. I'm really innovative. And I'm having an idea. Okay, we have the auction for the foreclosure market, okay? Mm-hmm. We already have that. Who is that done by, anyway? For the foreclosure, you know what I'm talking about? That
you're talking about
Roddy,
on the courthouse?
Yeah, the courthouse.
Yeah,
so that's the courthouse.
Yeah, courthouse steps.
People ask me about this all the time, so it's something I'd really like to talk about. About. So that's what people talk about with the auction.
Yeah,
around my town.
And see, my job has been for the last 25 years.
Separate from that.
Is get totally separate from that, because the properties that I'm taking to auction are properties that are higher value. It's not a fire sale. It's not a foreclosure. I don't want to be involved in that marketplace. That's not really my bag.
But I don't either, because it's not going to do me any good, because it's so hard to. There's so much competition and things like that.
It's the place to buy.
It's the place to buy.
Because remember, everything in real estate, no matter what, it's all in the buy. It's not in the sell.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you got to buy it right. If you're making an investment in a piece of real estate, it's in the price you pay for it.
Okay.
Because if you overpay for it, or you pay full market price in today's market now, then you're not guaranteed that you're going to be able to get your money back, because we could have another recession like the last the 8 years that we just ran through, which was brutal.
Right.
Most real estate companies really suffered. It doesn't matter if you're buying houses or warehouse equipment or manufacturing facilities. It's all in the buy. If you buy it right, you're guaranteed to get a return on it when you sell it.
Okay, that's a wonderful. very interesting. Okay, and most of the time in Dallas, our market is going up. It doesn't. But we're talking about different size homes.
Think about this though. Well, yeah, but I do a lot of other stuff too. I mean, I'm not going to say I never sell an $800,000 house, because I will if the conditions are right. Because I get people calling me that are friends of mine, and they just want me to sell it. They don't want me to refer it to somebody else. And so I'll take that project on if I need to satisfy the client. You got to remember, when you've been in business 27 years, like I was before I joined United, well, I had clients that I'd had for 27 years. And so they're calling me now
every day,
because they want me to handle their deal. So I can't refer it to someone. It doesn't make sense.
Right. So you'll still work on that. Now, what if I'd said, hey, I have an idea. I want to start an auction market for 300 and under in Dallas-Fort Worth in this hot market. Then you would just create that. You could do that.
That's a doable thing.
And Mom could go to auction school, and we could build this team of people.
I've created a monster.
You've created a monster, and then we could create this, and we could have the radio show as the central focal point, and then we could sell these homes instead of on the radio show. And then we can charge a flat fee. No, maybe not that. We just charge. I don't want everybody to hate me. And then we can say, come on, and we'll sell your house, and we can do it at auction. I don't know. Would you think that would work?
I think that we are in a time of innovation and change.
Yes.
And the way real estate has been sold for the last 80 years, those days are coming to an end. And and that's what we believe. We believe that it's an innovative time. It's a change. The buyers today are smarter.
Savvy.
They're smarter than ever.
They have access, fabulous.
They have access to all of the websites and the
But
search engines.
they still need us.
They
big
do.
Time.
Well, I'm not saying that we're going to be removed from the process, but I'm going to tell you that the way we've been paid in the past, the numbers. I mean, it's, as you well know, just right around Dallas. The other thing I was going to say, Dallas is in a unique position.
Yes, we are.
We have, when you have Toyota coming in and all these major corporations,
Liberty Mutual.
all you have to do is drive out. I'm on an airplane every week, and I was driving out. I was flying back in from New York from doing an auction Thursday night on Wall Street, and when I came in, I was looking at how many buildings Amazon has out there. Now, whether Amazon comes to Dallas or not is not the deal. They're already here, and they're big, and you're going So Dallas is an anomaly in some ways compared to, say, some other cities.
Thank God.
There's a handful of cities that I can say that's where I'd want to own real estate.
Thank God we're here in Dallas. I'm so glad to be here. Yep. Okay, we'll be right back. We have another break. We'll come right back with Mike Jones and Cheryl Brewer.
There's no room for bull hogs or egos here. We're not individuals with our own agendas. We practice as a band of brothers, and we win as a team. It's all for one and one for all.
Right corner, bang! A guns up 3 ball.
Right here on the Red Raiders Sports Network.
The Red Raiders face Iowa State in Lubbock Wednesday, February 7th. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. The pregame show starts at 7:30 on Talk Radio 1190.
Ed, get in here and shut the door.
What's up, boss?
What's up? You have to ask, Ed?
Yes, sir. Usually, sir.
Ed, you're naked as a jaybird.
Correctamundo, sir. Just as you ordered.
I what?
You told us Jimmy John's was going on natural, sir.
No, Ed. I told you our meats are now all natural.
Huh?
That's meats, Ed, not employees.
Oh, I get it now. It's our meats that are all natural.
Yes, Ed. Wood smoked ham, choice roast beef, real fresh turkey breast, all natural and freaky fresh.
How embarrassing.
No kidding. It's a good thing I got to you before your first delivery.
Yeah, well, I already spread the word, sir, and...
Naked?
Oh, no.
He's what? Naked?
Naked.
He's naked.
You've heard me for a decade and a half talk about how great it is to work with D&M Auto Leasing because they make getting a new car easy and painless. The call to D&M, that's free. Not calling, that could cost you thousands.
We make leasing easy at D&M.
Every child is born with talents, hopes, and dreams, but poverty will steal those dreams. You can help a child find hope when you become their sponsor with Compassion International. Give a child a chance to dream again. Find out how at compassion.com/radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Jenna Ryan Show. We're here today with Mike Jones, auctioneer. with United Realty, and also Cheryl Brewer with Keller Williams in Arlington. She is my mother. And I'm just so glad to have you and to look across the table of this radio show and to see you. I love seeing you, and you look beautiful today.
Thank you.
And I'm just, if you guys want to see us, we're online at Jenna.Ryan1 on Facebook. I'm here with Mike Jones. Mike Jones is an auctioneer. Now, Mom, you have sold homes in the millions over there in Arlington.
Yes.
And have you ever worked with the auction before?
No, I hadn't. This is interesting to me.
Yeah. And, it's nice to know that people are actually selling. So whenever you do the auction, it looks like you are creating these wonderful brochures of each of the properties. Mm-hmm. And these look quite unique. Are you using different marketing companies for each one, or do you have one graphic designer? Or?
We do everything in-house. We have about 25 to 30 people that do, it's called enhanced marketing solutions.
Okay.
And they're a team that we built specifically for auction.
Okay.
And now they're also doing traditional real estate. So if we're selling a golf course, or if we've got a cattle ranch, or we have we are the largest land company in America too. So that sets us apart from other companies. But whether you have a manufacturing facility or you have an equine property, we're really big in equine horse properties and large ranches and things of that nature. So we do residential with United here in Dallas and across the United States. We have about 35 to 45 offices now, from Beverly Hills to Virginia, and so we have unique groups. We have groups that concentrate on residential properties, and they have their own setup. And then we have our United Country, which is basically rural, recreational, farm and ranch, and properties out in the country. And then we have the company that I'm specifically running right now here in Dallas, which is United SCS, and that's for special properties.
You know what? I bet there are listeners out there that are in need of selling their ranches or selling their $1 million homes. How do they get in touch with you?
You can reach me at Mike@United-SCS.com.
Mike?
United-SCS.com.
Or your phone number?
214-906-5265.
Okay, Mike Jones is the one to call if you want to market your property via auction, your $1 million property. Okay, now I found you online. I mean, I know everybody. I'm always on Facebook, and I found you online, and I found you selling cars, and I just find that quite interesting. I've always wondered, how do you buy a car at auction? And it just looked like that they were selling these cars. I mean, some of them for $300.
Oh, my.
Well, okay.
I'm serious.
Let's back up one spot. So I like you do the radio show for fun on Sunday. I sell cars on Saturday for fun.
Okay.
And it keeps me in the normal course of being an auctioneer, because during the week, what am I doing? Most of the time, I'm looking at property, selling property, or I'm on an airplane. You know, and we do fundraisers too, as you well know. I do large fundraisers. I do Cattle Barons Houston. I was in New York City Thursday night with Ducks Unlimited. I do all their major events. You're
everywhere.
So
but
we do a little
I'm
bit of
interested
everything.
in this little car thing.
Well, this car thing.
I know it's not your big money maker, but it's so interesting, and people want to know about this.
A lot of people love it. So I work with a group which they used to be called Dallas Can Academy.
Okay.
And John McKay on Channel 8 is always promoting it. It's Texans Can Cars for Kids now.
Okay.
That's the only auction that I do that is related to automobiles.
Oh.
And so
that's why they were $300.
Well, no. So these are donated cars, and because we live in Dallas-Fort Worth, there's a lot of high-dollar vehicles that come through there. I mean, we have people in Highland Park that don't want to sell their car. They don't want to go. They're not going to let anybody come to their house.
Right.
They'd rather have a tax write-off,
right.
And that's what they're doing.
Sure.
So like the auction I did yesterday here in Dallas, we probably sold 200 cars. We sell non-runners from 9 to 10, and those are your $200 cars. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be a few $200 cars in there, but that's not the market. Once I start at 10 o'clock, that's when we get into the better cars. There's still going to be a lot of $300, $400, $500 cars, but towards the middle or end, that's when we get into the $7,000 to $10,000 cars, and sometimes $15,000. It just depends on what we have. You know, I mean, sometimes we get Jaguars.
Right.
Sometimes, we get all types of vehicles, and we also get watercraft. We have boats and ski.
These are all donated.
Yes, it's all donated.
Okay, so
stuff.
it's not like I was thinking that this is like, okay, this is how the auction really works that I've never been to.
I have,
and this is the secret.
I have some. Let me tell you, we need more buyers. quite frankly. They need more buyers.
Where is it at?
It is at the corner of Camp Wisdom Road and Marvin D. Love Freeway, which is Highway 67. We do it every weekend. We're only off 2 weekends out of the year. And if I'm not there, I'm usually there on Saturdays, but sometimes I'm not, and I'll have somebody cover for me. But if I had the need for a vehicle, or if I had a relative that needed a vehicle.
Yeah, like my teenage nephew.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I've got a lady right now who's
Zach, the producer.
They have a lot of money.
You need a car. You need to go to this auction.
Yes. You need to go. Well, here's the deal. You can check them out.
Great.
It's you check out the website. You can go look at the cars on Fridays. So you can inspect them. We give full disclosure.
Y'all do.
We tell you everything that there is wrong. It's on the windshield. So if there's something that's wrong with it, and
there's
going
to be something wrong with the car that's $500.
Most likely.
You're going to have to do some fixing.
And the other thing we get, this is what's really cool, is we get a lot of vehicles out of estates. Where you've got some people, we get a lot of cars,
low mileage,
some low mileage, and they look like brand new because maybe they're an older car,
right?
And so you've had an older person own it. They haven't driven anywhere in 3 or 4 or 5 years, so this car is pristine, and we always get some of those. So the main thing with this is, I think it's our website is like charitycarsforkids.org. You can go to that website, but if you can't find it there, just go to Texans Can Cars for Kids, and it's every weekend. You can look at the stuff online before you go.
Okay.
And so if you have interest, you can check it out. You have to put up a $200 deposit to get a bidder number, and you can do that online as well.
Okay.
And and you can bid from home. If you go look at it on Friday, you can actually bid on it from home on Saturday.
Oh.
So, you can be there. Myself, I'd want to go. I would want to see it drive through because we drive the cars through.
Right.
And it's just it's fun for me because it gives me the opportunity to do what I love to do, and that's be an auctioneer. And then like last night, we did a fundraiser here in Dallas for one of the private schools and raised $150,000 for them. So we did 2 auctions yesterday and one last week in New York. So it's just auction all the time.
You're just auctioning off everything.
Auctions are the way to go nowadays.
Yeah.
Sounds
like
it.
You're going to see more and more auctions.
Why?
Now we do well because it's a different market today. Okay, so like when I was younger and starting in the business, you saw a lot of estate sales, right? A lot of estates.
Yes.
Okay.
And we would sell all day long. Well, a lot of that stuff is ending up online, quite frankly. So you see a lot of the family members are putting stuff on eBay and all that. So it's changed what we're getting. Now, a great estate, you're going to get a great crowd. But if you just have knickknacks and stuff, you can get on Craigslist and buy anything you want nowadays.
Right.
So you really want to watch the marketplace, watch the newspaper for, and get acquainted with the different auction companies around the country, so a quality auction company that does great auctions. Now, that's one of the reasons that I'm proud to be past president of the National Auctioneer Association and the Texas Association, because we're dedicated to the auction profession.
Okay.
And I'm actually the president. I'm the president of the foundation board right now. So we raise money for education. We have educational classes. We have designations, and that's what we do.
You train people how to be auctioneer.
I do.
Now, if I want, what is the first thing I need to know if I want to be an auctioneer?
What's the first thing you need to know?
Vocal tone.
I think the first thing you need to know is that you really want to do it. It's easy to say.
Why would you really want to do it? Is it like singing?
You're performing. There's no doubt about it. You're performing. And
y'all get mean sometimes. They're like,
no,
not you.
No.
But I saw on there. They're like, you better put your hand down. You better put. They're like, like a mama. A mama.
Well, you think about another reason.
Slapping them around.
Another reason auctions have gotten really popular. You've got they're all over television.
Right.
So you've got the Barrett
TV.
Jackson, you've got the Barrett Jackson, you've got the Mecum Auto Auction where they're selling the high dollar cars. You've got Storage Wars, which has really been picked up. You've got Texas Storage Wars. The guy that's the auctioneer for Texas Storage Wars, actually, Walt Cade, came through our auction school, and we train them at Texas Auction Academy. So the Texas Auction Academy is where the training course is here in the Dallas area, and we'll train on average probably 35 to 40 people every quarter.
Really?
So, yeah.
I have to want to be an auctioneer.
Well, I think you'd want to have a desire. I've had people come to auction school that's never even been to an auction before, which is amazing. I'd say I never thought about anybody coming to auction school that never even been to an auction. Well, the training course is short. Okay, it used to be a 2-week course. Then we went to 9 days, and now we're 8 days. So we start on a Friday and we end on a Friday, and so. For I think it's $15.95 or $16.95. I don't even know exactly what the price is right now because I know we made a change after the first of the year. We just graduated a class about 2 weeks ago.
So you probably teach like cadence, like
rhythm.
I'll
I'll give you a quick example.
Okay.
This is what we do to train people to be an auctioneer.
Okay.
We start with tongue twisters.
Oh.
Rubber baby buggy bumper, rubber baby buggy bumper. Tommy a tatama stick 2 T's and time to the top of 2 tall trees. Tommy a tatama stick 2 T's and time to the top and round the rough and rugged rock the ragged rascal ran. 66 sailors sailed the Mississippi in 1666. 66 sailors sailed the Mississippi in 1666. Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. So she bought a bit of better butter, put it in her bitter batter, made her bitter batter. So 'tis better Betty bought a bit of better butter. So
Why?
we get them doing that.
Why do you do that?
That's the rhythm piece.
Why do you need to do that? What does that do?
Well,
is it just tradition, or does it really do something?
No, tradition doesn't mean anything with that. Then we throw in the numbers. So we have the rhythm, then we throw in the numbers. So Betty bought some butter, 10, 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, 80, 90, 90, 90, 90, 80, 80, 70, 70, 60, 60, 50, 50, 40, 40.
That's like twerking music. I'm just kidding.
It's like rapping.
Okay.
So we do that. Then we add all kinds of number drills. It could be 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5, 15, 17.5, 20, 22.5, 25, 27.5, 30. So like when I'm selling the cars, you hear me typically say 500, now 750, 500, now 7.5, now $1,000, now 12.5, 1,500, 1,750, now 2,000, now 22.5, 2,500. So you're trying to get your speed up to a point where you still want to be understood. You have to be understood.
Okay.
But an auctioneer, in order to make it, it's all about your years in business, your reputation, showing people that you're going to do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
It's same thing as real estate. It's all about reputation. The number one attribute that an auctioneer has is their reputation in the business. Trust. And so it trust and make sure that you perform the way you're supposed to. And I think as long as you do that, that's the first big step in being an auctioneer.
Awesome. We've got another break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
How do you know what is fact versus opinion with all the fake news these days? You go to Talk Radio 1190 and tune in to the new show, Chasing the Truth, every Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. They'd even like for you to be part of the show. How? Just listen to the topics about politics, sports, economy, and current events. Call in and give them your opinion. But warning, you must have facts to back up your opinion, or you'll be booted off the air. Chasing the Truth every Friday from 3 to 5. Great new show with a great new format that's sure to raise some eyebrows.
You're up before dark 30. You don't ask for medals or even a pat on the back. But if all your hard work is indeed its own reward, then consider the new Ram Limited Tungsten Edition as a bonus. Natura Plus leather seating, premium projector headlamps, suede headliner, packaged in the highly capable, hard-working truck you'd expect from Ram. Keep doing what you do, but who says you can't do it in a nicer truck? The new Ram Limited Tungsten, the most luxurious Ram truck ever. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast. And you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees. That's why you need Indeed.com, delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Are you looking to get out of your timeshare with a 100% guarantee? I'm Karen, owner of Lone Star Transfer. We have helped thousands of timeshare owners get out of their timeshare legally and ethically. We have an excellent track record, and we have an A+ rating with the BBB. Call us today for a free consultation at 855-551-7066 or online at LoneStarTransfer.com at 855-551-7066 or LoneStarTransfer.com. We will help you today.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lungcancer to learn more.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Jenna Ryan Show. We're so glad to have you with us today. If you've been listening this hour, you have been greatly informed, as I have, about real estate auctions. We're talking with Mike Jones here today of United Real Estate, and Cheryl Brewer with Keller Williams in Arlington. Cheryl Brewer happens to be my mother. She has 20 years experience in real estate. How would someone reach you if they were looking for a realtor?
They could go to my website or go to my email at CherylBrewer@kw.com.
Cheryl Brewer at kw.com. She works, my mother knows the 817 area like the back of her hand. She can do anywhere. I mean, she was raised Tarrant County. She was raised in Dallas, so she knows every area. Mm-hmm. So she's not limited. However, she can do like Fort Worth, Kennedale, Mansfield, Arlington, North Richland Hills, South Lake, Grapevine. That I don't really reach over into those areas. That's not my expert. I mean, I could because I've lived there with my mom, for many, many years. However, I live over here, and so I just really work in 214-972 area. But my mother can go over to the 817. That's just how I look at it. So, but either way, we can both do either side.
Yeah.
And work together in that way. And we're here today, and you can call me too. I'm at JennaRyanRealty@gmail.com. If you're looking to buy or sell in Dallas-Fort Worth, we're here today talking with Mike Jones, and we're talking about the real estate auction. Now, these are homes that are, over $2 million, that, the high-level homes that people just want to, maybe they've had it on the MLS, and it really didn't work. And so now we have, what music is that?
We're getting some outside music.
We're getting some phones ringing.
Yeah.
So selling homes that are, in the $1 million range. And so one of the homes you've got going on is the mid-century modern, the Vaughn home.
Yep.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, this is a home that's in Old Preston Hollow, and it was a Frank Lloyd Wright inspired home. And it's at 5350 South Dentwood Drive here in Dallas.
Okay.
You can go to the we have a website for it, www.bidmodern.com, bidmodern.com. And if you're interested in that property, the auction, it's going to be an on-site auction.
Okay.
You do have to qualify before you can actually get into the property.
People are going to go on-site.
Yes.
You're going to set up
I'll
the
be
chairs.
actually standing there doing my chant. And the starting bid is $2.9 million, and
that's the reserve.
That's that's not the reserve, but it is the starting bid. The sellers will let us know what they're going to be willing to take. We're going to put it up, and we're going to bid it off, and then whatever the bid is, we'll present that offer to the sellers, and then they can decide if they want to take it or not. That's
okay.
their
I've got
choice.
two questions. Okay,
Yep.
so for the first thing is, do y'all put this on TV so people across the country can bid on it?
Well, you can do online bidding.
Okay.
You absolutely can. And most people, and I can tell you, I've actually sold a property to the general manager or the acting general manager of the Texas Rangers before.
Oh.
And he did not attend the auction, but he did have a representative, and that person came representing them. And then that happens quite a bit, especially in the high-end properties. A lot of times, the person doesn't even want to be known that they're buying it. They don't want they don't want everybody to know that they're buying it, or they even have that kind of money. So the auction is Tuesday, February the 20th. At 2 p.m. It is a private on-site auction, which means you've got to get your money lined up ahead of time. And, of course, you can email me at mike@united-scs.com. You can also go to our other website, our main website, which is united-scs.com.
Okay, so people have to get pre-approved, or are they paying cash for these $5 million homes?
Most of the time, they're going to line up their financing ahead of time.
Line up their financing, but they have to put $100,000 down. Okay,
well,
so then you present the offer to the seller even after the auction?
With a reserve auction, we will present the offer to the seller. And
what do you mean? So if they don't get the 2.9, like if you start at $2.9 million and it goes down from there,
it won't go down from there. No,
how do you know?
That's the starting bid. You got to start.
We're
not going to waste our time at $1 million or $2 million when it's not anywhere close to what the property's worth. So we still have to keep the integrity of the property, right? It's It's been listed at $5.5 million.
Okay.
It's been listed at, and at one time it was listed at 6.9.
Wow.
So we're at 5.5 now. So somewhere between 2.9 and 5.5 is where it's going to land, and we don't know what that number is. That's going to be up to the people. But it's, here's the thing about it, Jenna. It's a 9,500 plus square foot home.
Okay.
It's on a 1.37 acre lot in Old Preston Hollow.
That's
6
great.
bedrooms, 7 full bath, 2.5 bath, 7 full. 7 full baths. That's nice.
What do you reckon this property is going to end up selling for?
One of the first rules you learn in auction school.
Just don't answer that question.
Don't answer that question because you don't know. All you're going to do is set yourself up to look not very smart. And so I never try to predict what the public's going to do because I've seen if you get the right people there that really want that property, it could really shock us. It could surprise us, and especially right now. We have been receiving calls from people coming in from California with Toyota and some of the other companies, and in California. $2 million won't buy much house.
Nothing.
That's like a little bungalow.
Yeah. So here you can really step it up. And so if you have an incoming executive or somebody from New York that's coming in, they're going to be intrigued by this property. Now, this home, it actually sits on the back of the home sits on water. It's one of only four or five homes that has a water feature. It has a swimming pool. It's got a spa.
It's got everything.
It's got a lot. It really does. And we have a video that you can go to and check it out. So if you go to bidmodern.com, you can watch the video.
Okay, wait. I have a question. So,
go ahead.
Okay, so how do you know what it's appraised at? How do they appraise a property like this?
You know what? I think at this point of the game, this auction is going to appraise the property.
So that's the market that appraises.
That's the real market.
There's no comps.
What a buyer will.
Are there comps?
There is no comp for this. You can't put a comp number on this. It was built in the 50s by Mr. Vaughn, who was an oil man. Mr. Vaughn built commercial buildings in downtown Dallas. This home has a lot of features that homes in the 50s just simply didn't have. Oh, wow. He was using commercial grade materials. Look
at these photos on bidmodern.com.
Bidmodern.com, and there's a video. And in fact, Preservation Dallas did a tour of this home, and we also showed the property to First Lady Laura Bush. She looked at the property and
did she not want it?
She loved it, but she was really looking for it for her friend.
Oh.
And so the group was there. She looked at it privately with us, and then we thought we were through. And next thing I know, she's coming back to the door, and she brought her friend. And so then we showed it to her friend.
She might be the one bidding on it.
She may be the one. You just don't know. But it was exciting to have the former First Lady with us, and she could not have been more gracious. And, she only lives 2 or 3 blocks away.
Yeah.
Well,
what
tell
other
me
celebrities have you worked with?
Oh, wow. Well, over the years, we've worked with a lot of music people. We worked with a lot of music people.
Rappers?
Cindy Crawford, people like that. I did cattle barons here in Dallas for about 7 or 8 years, and so I was always working with somebody pretty well known. And so you can actually there's a Facebook page and a website called United Classic Auctioneers, and all the pictures, or not all, but some of the pictures of the famous people that I've been with.
Oh, okay.
And so you can actually go to, and it's on Facebook as well. So there's a lot of them.
So here's the deal. I want to know. So if you're going to go and do an auction, first you put the home on the MLS, or do you just go straight to auction?
No, we're going to put it on the MLS.
So every home is first going to go in the MLS and see what happens.
Well, that's not the process.
And I'm talking about high-level homes.
If we're going to take it to auction, we're going to put it on the MLS. We'll start the marketing process. Usually on a higher dollar home, the marketing period is going to be anywhere from 45 to 60 days, and sometimes 70 days, depending on the value of the property.
Who are you marketing this to, and how are you marketing it?
Well, that's what we do out of Kansas City. That's where our marketing department is located.
Okay.
And we're going to sit down as a group. Now we'll maybe do it by conference call because it'll start out in my office, and we'll sit down and talk about who are our potential buyers. And here again, it goes back to what the type of property is.
Okay.
What are the demographic for this? We're going to make sure that everybody within a radius of that property receives a brochure or some type of connection.
Get the buzz going.
Got to get the buzz because the neighbors want good neighbors, right?
And do you put a sign in the front yard?
Yep, there's a sign on the property right now.
And does it say auction or does it say
It says
for sale?
auction. It says auction. Yep.
So you put a sign in the front yard. You could give it 45 days, 45 to 60 days to let the whole world know.
But, just to tell you real quick, we offered a piece of real estate in Panama. The advertising budget was $600,000.
Now, who comes up with that budget?
And they paid that up front.
Okay,
so all of
the
our
buyer,
all
the
of
seller is
our
paying
sellers,
marketing fees
that's
up
right.
front.
They're going to pay marketing fees up front. That's correct.
Good.
And then would you say, can you tell us, is it 3%? Is it 1%? On $5 million? How?
Just depends. Everything's negotiable, Jen. Everything's negotiable.
There
is some secret sauce to this.
And you can't price set. You're not allowed to do that.
No.
It has to be negotiable.
Yeah, and you're going to be negotiable.
You could do a flat fee on a $5 million home.
Well, I can tell you this. I sold a restaurant in New Mexico about 2 years ago, and the buyer paid and the seller paid. Typically, we work off of a buyer's premium. So most of our sales, when we're selling a piece of real estate, the buyer is going to pay the premium. Just like a Picasso, they're going to pay a premium. So the bulk of the cost is going to, for the seller, is going to be advertising and marketing. That's going to be the vast majority of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Such an interesting show. I really appreciate you being here today. Thank you, Mom, for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yay, we're having a great time. We'll have you back very soon.
Okay.
And you're off to go meet some people to sell some houses today, aren't you?
We've got some things to do, and then we've got a busy week ahead, and then we're getting ready for our conventions.
Right. And the market's really booming, and I've just got this wonderful listing in Rockwall on almost an acre. It's this beautiful 2,700 square foot home with hardwood floors, and it's very pristine, and I just love the sellers and it's got a front porch, it's got a back porch, it's plumbed for gas. It's just a really great home. It's going up for $325, which is a steal to get a home for $325 on almost an acre in Rockwall, and it's Rockwall ISD. You guys go and check that out. It will be on the MLS coming up this week. And if you are interested in buying or selling real estate, give me a call, 972-510-9177. And that is all for our show. I will see you next week. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
The Jenna Ryan Show. All things real estate and beyond. If you're in the market for a new home or planning on selling your home, if you want to know what's going on in the DFW area or who the movers and shakers are in our community, tune into the Jenna Ryan Show, Sundays 11 a.m. to noon on Talk Radio 1190.